Good morning. There she is. How are you? You ready?
Good, yeah. I'm just listening to the radio, which is why I put it on mute, which is why I'm never ready to say hello, because I'm on mute. Yes, darling.
Okay, let's do it. Val is not joining. She's going to have to do it later, but hopefully we'll see Anne. But we're going to start. So take your feet to the width of the mat and get towards the end of your mat. Make sure your feet are facing forward. Take a nice big deep breath. And let's just hold the arms out nice and wide and take your gaze and look up. So while you hold this, try to retract the shoulders, try to pull them apart from each other. And now we're going to just do one side. So push that hip out. So you're going to feel, because our feet are wide, you're going to feel this a little bit through that inner thigh on the left side. And then take it over so you get it on the waist also. Nice. And then let's do the opposite side. So hip pushes left, arm goes up first and then over. Nice and long through the side body. Try to get good length here. Great job. Okay, nice big deep breath. Reach those arms all the way up. And then take them all the way down and push your butt backwards. Weight into your heels, relax your head. Just hold here for a few breaths. I want you to get used to being inverted. Nice little stretch for the lower back as you fold over your legs with your upper body. Sort of hang out here and breathe. Let your head go where it wants to. Don't try to hold it up. Now from here, take your fingers out in front, your fingertips to the floor, and inhale and extend to a flat back. Try to have your legs straight, but while you're holding this back extension, push your hips backwards. So you get a nice stretch through the back of the legs. Breathe a couple of times, expand the rib cage as you breathe. And then fold over those legs again. So just let your torso dangle, let it fall where it wants to. Same with your head. Okay, let's inhale and extend to a flat back again. Hold it for just a breath or two more. And then we're going to fold back down. Now take your hands, baby steps, all the way to the front of the mat. And bring your shoulders over your wrists. Your feet are going to stay in the same place. And now walk the hands, baby steps back towards the feet. And you're right back to that forward fold with your feet nice and wide. And we're going to do that again. Hands walk forward. Bring your shoulders over the wrists. And hands walk back. Relax your head. Push your weight into the heels. And come forward one last time. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Hold your plank. Now you're going to bring your feet together so they're just hip width apart. So you're in your regular high plank. Now from here, pull through to a down dog. And try to drive your heels towards the floor. And then pull back forward to that plank. And let's do that 2 more times. Pull through. Heels down. And back forward. And one last time. Pull through. Now step your feet into bear with your shoulders over your wrists. Just hold this for a sec. And now put the knees down on the floor. We're going to flatten the feet so you're on the tops of your feet. And you're going to slide your knees open and come into a wide knee, whatever you call this. Sit back on those heels. Child's pose. Wow. Got that first.
So you got your knees far apart, you can have your forehead down on the ground. You're sitting on the heels, you're just chilling. Okay, let's bring it back up. Now bring the knees so they're hip width apart. Remain on the tops of your feet, sit back on your heels, extend the arms out, keep your forehead off the floor this time. It's a different variation. Getting a little stretch into your lats. So as you breathe, try to relax the armpits towards the floor. So now you're going to come up, you're going to tuck your toes under, you're going to drift your hips back over the heels, but you're not touching the heels. Slide the palms to the corners of the front of your mat. You got a lot of distance between those hands. Another variation. Okay, now bring the hands so that they're shoulder width apart. You're going to take the right palm, lift it up towards the ceiling. Open the palm to the ceiling. So this is the way we open our shoulders. And then close that hand to the floor and relax. Do the same on the opposite side. Open the palm so it faces up. And then lift that hand off the floor just an inch. And then do it again on the opposite side. Open, lift. Now, while you've lifted it, I want you to try to reach the arm straight. And then close it and relax. Open again, lift and reach. Nice. Close it to the floor. Slide your palms under the shoulders. We're going to do a few cat-cows, but we're going to fold this while you really try to pull apart those shoulder blades. Let your head just look towards your knees. And breathe. Just a few more times. Now drop into those shoulders, take your gaze forward, look up. Now while you create this big arch in the back, I want you to hollow out the belly. Now come back and round that back again. Look at your knees. And then sink into those shoulders. Prod out the chest, look forward. And one last time, round the back. Push away from the floor. And now come back to a neutral spine. Take your gaze towards the front of your mat. You're still in your quadruped position. I'm going to have you extend the right arm forward with the palm facing the midline of the body and slide the left foot back. Once you've slid that left foot back, make sure the leg is straight and then lift that foot off the floor. Put the foot back down, slide it in, relax the hands, same thing, other side. Left arm forward, right leg slides back, lock it out straight, lift it up. Put it back down, lower the hand and knee to the floor. We're going to do this 2 more times. Right arm reaches, left leg slides, lift up that back leg, and other side. Once you've got that foot off the floor in the back, really focus on lengthening through that leg. So you're taking those toes and you're trying to touch the back of the room. Nice. Now come on back down. One more time on each side. Keep that bellow hollowing out your belly. Pull it in the whole time today. Switch, slide and lift. Nice job. Come on back down. Kick those feet off to the side. We're lying down. There's Anne. We're lying down all the way down for one big full body stretch. So we're going to come down nice and slow with the arms out forward. So slide it down. You're C curving the spine. You're hollowing in the belly. Coming down slowly. Taking the arms all the way back behind you for a full body stretch. Just breathe. How good does that feel? Spread your fingers wide, create space and length. Now let's bring the arms back forward, lift your head up, tuck your chin, hollow out the stomach, come all the way back up, dive through the legs. Just kind of warming up the body, getting it ready to do some weights. We are going to start with our arms and chest, especially since we're already down on the floor. So grab the heaviest weight that you can do a chest press with. So we're going to come into a bridge position with your heavy weights. So lift your hips up, fire up those glutes. And then start your presses. Back of the arms to the floor. Come back up. Keep your wrists nice and neutral. Just going to get through about 15 at a fairly slow pace. Don't forget to breathe. When you push those weights up, that's when we should be exhaling our breath out. You want to make sure those weights touch at the top of the move and you're fully extending the arms. Keep actively working that belly down. That's your job today, the whole day. Work it. Why not? Once you've done 15, I have 3 more to go. We're going to put these weights down. We're just going to use one for a lat pull. So lower those weights, however you do it. I like to sit back up. We're going to hold it vertically. And we're not going to get into a bridge. So this time I want you to keep your hands centered over the chest. Your legs are bent. Your hips are down. Now the weight's going to go back behind you. Try to keep your ribs down and then pull it forward. So this is not about swinging the weight. This is about moving it or lifting it, resisting it. Got to be the boss. Keep the ribs down. And we're going to do 15 in total. Don't worry, you don't need to count if you don't want to. I'll just tell you when we're done. I like to really try to resist it going down. It's almost like a nice little stretch too. Keep your ribs down, don't let them get huge. Your neck should be nice and long. You always want to try to keep that nice and long but relaxed. So I have 4 more to do. I'm going nice and slow. When I bring it forward, I move it as far forward as I can. So you're working the full range here. Last one. Okay, bring that weight down, sit yourself up. We're going to come back and do round 2 of chest presses. So you're back to holding both and you're back to that bridge we started in. So butt up. You can walk your feet in a little closer to your body so you can get your hips up a tiny bit higher. Now start with those weights kissing at the top and then lower them gently. Try to be consistent with the pace and no jerkiness. Keep elevating the hips and keep pulling in the belly. We have about 10 more. unless you're going speedy fast. And if you are with a lighter weight, I want you to slow it down when you're lowering the arms to the floor. Working on my last 5 here, and then we're going to come back to that lat pull. Squeeze those buns, you want to be working them too. Okay. Oh my goodness, sit yourself back up. Now we're back to just the one weight. Hopefully you're using the heaviest one that you have. Take it back down, you keep your butt on the floor in these lat pulls with your ribs staying down as best you can. So nice and slow and steady. You're taking that weight as far back so you sort of tap it to the floor very lightly. Exhaling when you take it back, inhaling when you pull it forward. Reason we want to keep that chest down, your rib cage down, it's not a good look to have it puff out normally, right? So pull it down as best you can. Working here on my last 4. And we're back to our final round of presses. Yes, we are going to feel these arms tomorrow, but that's what we want. Okay, going back up. Getting a little core in on the up and the down of this, right? I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. Grab your 2 heavy weights. Get back into that bridge. Now let's do our last round of these. So they start connected at the top. Walk those feet towards your butt, then lift up. Keep those rear end cheeks squeezing. You can also isometrically here work your inner thighs. Pull them isometrically towards each other. They're not touching. But you want to activate as much muscle as you can. Keep your pace the same throughout the 15 repetitions. Your wrists are nice and neutral and your butt cheeks are tight. We are almost done these arms. You're probably feeling it, which is good. I got 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, arms, back of the arms or elbows to the floor. Sit yourself up. You're just going to hold the one weight this time. We're going to keep our butt cheeks down. This is your last round of lat pulls. Pull that weight vertically. So you're just holding one end of it. Let it go back with lots of control. And then pull it back forward. Ribs stay down, belly stays down. Try to keep that inner thigh activation while you do these lat pulls. Really control it going back there. You got to be the boss. Nice and slow and steady. Keep the arms straight. Really important here. Hopefully you got a little bit of tremble going on in these arms. We're going to transition. We're still doing arms after this. We're going to do tricep extensions, and we're going to get ourselves back into that bridge. Now for tricep extensions, you might need to go to a lighter weight than your heaviest. So I have 4 more here. When the work gets hard, that's when you really need to find your breath. If you ever find yourself holding it or stressing your face, try to get your breathing back rhythmically with the movement of the weight. And keep that face nice and relaxed. Here's my last one. Sit it back up. So I am going to transition to a lighter weight for my tricep extensions. Start out with my 10s, and if I have to switch, make sure you always have a lighter set close by so you can switch as opposed to stop, right? We want to try to get these 15 reps in. And it's okay, you know, if you are having to switch weights, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So let's start out with weights in both hands over the chest. Now, hollow out the belly, walk your feet in close to your butt, and now bridge it up. Squeeze your butt. You're bending only at the elbow until the end of the weight touches the shoulder, and then come right back up. So elbows to wrist is the only part of the body that's moving. And you're holding that weight as lightly as you can without losing control of it. Squeeze those butt cheeks. And exhale while you lift up. Inhale while you lower. Keep it going. We're trying to get in our 15. While you're in your bridge, isometrically, use your inner thighs. Get them doing something. Last 3 for me. You're trying to get to 15 here. Okay, so now we're going to do a fly. So if you need to change weights, you're going to change weights, but your arms start out over your chest. They open out nice and wide, and then you pull them back together. So you're keeping your arms really long. We're going to be in that bridge again. We're still using our inner thighs. So you start out with your arms fully extended and the weights on top of the chest. The weights are touching one another. Now open out with control till the back of the arms touch the floor. Pull them back together. And again, if you start out with a heavier weight, don't be shy to switch if you're losing control of your form. Keep those buns tight and the hips high and the belly working. You got to actively pull the belly into the back of the body. Try to get in your 15. If you need to change weights, do it. Don't fight that. Don't think of that as being a failure at this. It's important that we listen to our body. So I'm shooting for 3 more. Oh my goodness. And woo! Okay. Give your hands a little break here. So open the fingers nice and wide and then squeeze them and just keep repeating that a few times. It's good for getting blood flow back into these fingers. Okay, back to our triceps. Remember, have another set of weights nearby if you need to change. Get into your bridge, start your extensions. Take those weights all the way down until the end of the weight touches the shoulder and then press it back up. Please keep your elbows over the shoulders, not behind. Keep squeezing those butt cheeks. Okay, last 3 for me. And if you're ahead of me, just go right into your flies. Unless, of course, you need to change weights. Make that transition as quickly as you can. We're staying in that bridge, open up nice and wide. You want the back of the arms to touch the floor. Now, of course, if you wanted to use more of your core, you can bring those feet and knees together and see how important it becomes to be nice and steady with your hips. You got to squeeze and use muscle, whatever you can find. Woo. Three more. Now, if you've finished and you've done your 15 already, grab a quick sip of water before you transition to your last round of these. Oh, I'm going to get a sip of water. Whew. So we have tricep extensions. Cheers, guys. Happy New Year. So excited. Okay. Tricep extensions. Let's get it done. If you can, bring your feet and knees together on this last round here. Steady on the way down, steady on the way up. Three more for me. I'm going to transition right away into my flies. Try to keep those feet and knees together. Remember to change weights if you need to. This is a lot of work for the arms and the back and your chest. So if you're feeling a little tremble, that's perfectly normal. That's what you want. Remember to keep the weights, when you pull them together, keep them over the chest, not the face. They might have a tendency to want to slip towards being over the face. You want to feel this in your chest and the back of the shoulders, your shoulder blades. Make sure you're kissing those weights at the top every time, so you're working the full range. Now, if your knees and feet are together, you're probably starting to feel those glutes talking to you. That's a good thing. Keep the butt up and squeezing. I got 3 more to do. And then we get a little sip of water. 2. And last one. Okay. Oh my goodness. Woo. Shake out those hands. Loosen them up. We're going to work our outer butt cheeks. We're going to give our hands a little bit of a rest. So grab your band, wrap it around just above the ankles, and we get to lie back down. How awesome is that? So lying down, legs up, and more importantly, legs straight. Open that band out and just hold it for 3 counts. So 3, 2, 1, and then pull it together and let it completely release. So you're starting from scratch each of these 15 repetitions. Open out, hold for 3, and then let it release. You're releasing it slowly. So we're going to stick with our 15 reps. Make sure you're continually doing that little 3 count before we bring the feet back together. Now that lower back of yours, you can have a space between the floor and the back, or you can do somewhat of a pelvic tilt and get rid of all that space by pushing the lower back into the floor. It really depends on what feels better for you. Don't cheat those 3 counts. That's the important part. And then closing slowly. And really make sure each time you're opening out as wide as you can. So I'm working on my last 5. Make sure those feet are not drifting forward. If anything, backwards. If anything, you can switch up the angle and move them a little bit more forward. You'll notice your 6-pack muscle going, oh my goodness, am I supposed to work now? Okay, bring your legs down, bring your knees right into the chest. So give yourself a little bit of love. Hug your knees in, maybe rock side to side, maybe do a circle. Whatever feels good. Just a little reprieve. We're going to come back and do round 2. And then we're going to do round 3, and you're going to hate me. But of course, these tiny little bit of outer hips, it's important that we keep these muscles strong. Okay, legs back up. Out and hold for 3. And close slow. And the good news is you only have 14 more. Actually, it's not 14 more, it's 28. But that sounds crazy, right? We're taking one step at a time. Well, it's a new year, so we probably have set some goals for our health. Hopefully they're not gigantic that you can't keep them. or sustain them. It's what happens to most people. I can remember working in gyms, January, the gyms would be so busting with people. And then in February, you could shoot a cannon through the place. So we want to have realistic goals. Goals that make us feel good and move better and sleep better. That's all. Okay, hopefully like me, you're starting to feel this. This is getting a little tough. Work through it. So it's important to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? Where you go to the, oh my God, I'm not sure about this. Find yourself in that spot every now and then. It'll make you sweat more and get stronger. And really try to open up just as wide through all of these reps. I know it's hard. My legs are saying, what the hell are you doing to me? Oh my goodness, let's shoot for 3 more. And this last one, we get a little reprieve. Bring those knees back into the chest. Okay, the good news is we only have to do this 1 more time. Really important to keep these muscles strong. So let's go. Did that convince you? Legs straight, shoulders relaxed. Let's get it done. Out and hold 3 counts. In slowly. Now, if you want to switch up the angle of your feet, you could point your toes in towards each other if you like. Or you could point them the opposite way. Play around with changing the angle and see if you feel it in a little bit of a different spot. What you want to be mindful of is to keep your shoulders relaxed. You don't need them to help you. We're trying to really isolate these outer hips and get them doing the work. And again, move your feet out a little bit towards the front of your room a little bit. And when I say little, I mean like an inch or 2. You would be able to feel it, but it wouldn't be so noticeable. And we are going to transition from here to our inner thighs. Just have 4 more of these reps to get in, make them fabulous. Then you're going to grab your Pilates ring or your ball, whatever you have, or a pillow. And we're going to work the inner thighs. Okay, bring those knees into the chest, a little bit of a reprieve before we take the band off. Okay, get rid of your band. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. The good news is we don't have to do those outer hips again. Okay, we're back to lying down. Get that ball between your legs or your Pilates ring and start your squeeze. It's the same 3 counts that we did with the band for our hips. So you pull in, squeeze, release. And while you squeeze your knees together, you can do a little pelvic tilt so that lower back hits the floor. But again, you don't need to. You can just focus on squeezing and holding for 3 counts. And you keep that space between your back and the floor. I find I get more of an inner thigh workout if I have a little space between my lower back and the floor, and I just focus on squeezing my knees into each other. Slow and steady. It's that 3 count hold that you love so much. Embrace that shake. Hopefully you're feeling it. If not, try to work a bigger range of motion. Try to squeeze in a little more. We're getting to 15 here. And we are doing it 3 times. I know it's tough. Hopefully we won't run out of time. I want to finish these inner thighs and then I want to do a few stretches before you kick out of here and start your new year. Okay, you keep going till you get to 15. I gotta let my dog out because she's whining. Yeah, coming back. Sorry about that. Okay, so we did 1 round. Hopefully you've taken a little break. Now we're coming right back to round 2. So your break's not very long. Squeeze and hold 3 counts. And release. Never enough time. We only have 4 minutes left. How are we going to finish this? Maybe we hold 2 counts to get this done a little bit quicker. But again, try to keep nice and steady. You want to really be the one controlling the movement, whether it's when you're pulling in, holding, or releasing. Okay, I'm shooting for 4 more here, a little reprieve, and then I'm going to finish these last 15 with no holds. So I'm just going to gently go in and out. But before I do that, I'm just going to release those inner thighs. Connect the bottoms of your feet, let the knees splay out to the side. Grab your ball and start. So pull in and release 15 times. We have 5 more. 5, 4. Squeeze as best you can on each one. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, sit it up. We're going to do a nice little stretch here. So you're going to take your feet nice and wide. Hopefully your weights are not in the way. Sitting up nice and tall, legs are nice and wide, toes face up towards the ceiling. We're going to walk it out with a long spine as far as we can. And then let the forearms come to the floor and just relax the head. So now you're rounding your upper back. You're holding those feet flexed. Take a few breaths. Hopefully you're getting a nice stretch for those inner thighs. And now walk it back up. Now we're going to bring the feet together. Start with a long spine, walk it down. When you can't go anymore, let the forearms rest on your shins and relax your head. So you're getting the benefit here of the back of the legs getting some length and also the lower back should feel some length. Nice big deep breaths. Okay, bring it back up. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Left foot comes in, open it out to the side, and then walk it forward. A little bit different angle for the inner thigh. It might feel good. That's what it's supposed to do. Sometimes it's a little harder than we think. Okay, let's switch sides. Pull the right foot in, fold it over. Okay, walk it back up. You're going to pull both feet in. You're going to come up onto your toes. Stay here just for a sec. Get nice and high on the pads of the feet. Okay, hands are to the floor. You're gonna lift those hips up, meet me in a full forward fold. We're gonna get some good blood flow to our face here. Just relax the shoulders. They can fall wherever they want to. Take deep breaths. Keep your legs straight. Now let's bring the hands above the knees. You're going to start lifting the head, come up nice and slow. Nice. Round those shoulders. Take a nice big deep breath. Arms come all the way up. And I thank you so much for your power and strength. I hope you guys have a fabulous 2023. I'm very grateful for having you with me. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Good.
Did you all have a good holiday?